Morning. In this video, I'll explain the concept of a one-person company. Okay, so basically, it is introduced to convert the sole proprietorships into partnership. In addition, I mean to say to encourage the sole proprietorships to convert into partnership. So government wants to encourage all the sole proprietorships or most of the sole proprietorships to convert themselves into a company. The advantage is that when you convert when you convert an economy from unorganized sector to organized sector, that results in development of the company. So all developed countries will have their economy mostly in organized sector. It is only underdeveloped economies or developing economies like India will have substantial part. So as per the economic analysis, 40% of the Indian economy is unorganized sector. Unorganized sector in the sense there is no official records of what's going on in that business or sector. So government just wants to convert the unorganized sector activities into organized sector and to streamline in a systematic manner. Okay, so with that intention to encourage the sole proprietorship to do the business in a formal manner, in a corporatized style, the concept of one person company has been introduced. Though it is a new concept to the India, but the other countries, the concept is prevailing from long back. So in India, it has been recently introduced in the Companies Act 2013. It was there in the companies, it was not there in the Companies Act 1956. Okay, right. So first of all, one person company means a company which has only one person as a member. So in the one person company, one person means a member. Who is one person? That member or shareholder. One person company, one person as a member or a shareholder. Type of a company. One person company is always a private company. No doubt about that. Only a private one person company can be formed only as a private company, not as a public company. Okay, right. So within private company, one person company can occupy any of these positions within private company. So one person company can be private limited by shares, or one person company can be private limited by guarantee, or one person company can be private unlimited companies. Okay, so one person company is always a private company, and within the private company it may be limited by shares or limited by guarantee or unlimited company. One person company can be incorporated under any of these three styles, no objection. But one person company cannot be incorporated under section 8. One person company cannot be incorporated under section 8. Therefore OPC is a profit motive private company. 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 Section 8 companies are charitable entities. OPC cannot be incorporated under Section 8. Therefore, all OPCs are profit motive private companies. Okay. Therefore, all OPCs are private companies. All OPCs are private companies. But all private companies are not OPC. But all private companies are not OPC. Okay. Next. So these are the three persons involved with respect to the OPC: member, nominee, and director. Only a natural person and Indian citizen can become a member of OPC. Natural person and Indian citizen, maybe resident or not, So earlier only a resident must incorporate OPC. Now in the amendment they have changed, maybe resident or otherwise. That means even a non-resident also can incorporate a OPC. But natural person and Indian citizen only an Indian citizen can incorporate a OPC. He must be a natural person. He may be resident or non-resident also. If at all he is a resident, what is the criteria? At least 120 days during the preceding financial year shall be treated as a resident. A person who stayed in India for at least minimum 120 days during the preceding financial year shall be treated as a non-resident. Okay, so if I'm incorporating a company today, 6th November 2022, if I'm incorporating a OPC today, 6th November 2022, so this current financial year is 22-23. So I have to go back and take the previous financial year. Previous financial year is 21-22. This starts from 1st April 21 to 31st March 22 to 31st March 22. In this, I should stay 120 days so that I'll become resident here. Okay, so that I'll become a resident here. Okay. Today's date is 6th November 2022. Therefore, current financial year is 22-23. So preceding financial year is 21-22. That is from 1st April 21 to 31st March 22. if I have stayed from 1st April 21 to 31st March 22, if I have stayed at least 120 days in India, then for the current financial year 22-23, I will be treated as a resident. But it doesn't matter. Sir, I have not stayed 120 days. Doesn't matter. I'm not a resident. But still you can incorporate OPC. Just for the sake of putting in the application, whether you are a resident or not, you have to look at this date. Not for the eligibility. Even otherwise also, even if you are not a resident also, you can become a member of OPC. Okay. Right, no minor shall become a member, and minor not even have a beneficial interest also. No minor cannot become a member. A person cannot, minor cannot have beneficial interest also. Minor cannot have beneficial interest also in the, minor cannot have beneficial interest also in the OPC. Minor cannot have a beneficial interest also in the OPC. Minor cannot even have beneficial interest in the OPC. Minor cannot even have beneficial interest in the OPC. Minor cannot even have beneficial interest in the OPC. I mean to say, minor himself cannot purchase. Through guardian also, minor cannot become a member. If the guardian is there, whether a guardian can purchase the shares of OPC on behalf of fund for the benefit of minor, answer is no. Whether a guardian can purchase the shares of OPC on behalf of and for the benefit of a minor, the answer is no. Minor cannot even have a beneficial interest in the OPC. Okay, right. Minor shall not become a member. Minor cannot even have beneficial interest in the OPC. No person shall be eligible to incorporate more than one OPC. A person can become a member of only one OPC. A person can become a member of any number of other companies, like other private companies or public companies. But a person can become a member of only one OPC. A person can become a member of only one OPC. Okay, right. Actually, this paragraph should come above. If a person is a member of more than one OPC, if a person is a member of more than one OPC due to his nomination, I am a member in OPC 1 and I become a member in some other company. I become a member in some other company. Say for example, OPC 1, OPC 1 member is A, OPC 1 member is A, and nominee is B, and nominee is B. Okay, OPC 2, OPC 2 member is C, and nominee is A. Now, sir, is it permitted, sir? Yes. Here I am a member. A is a member here, and A is a nominee here. That is permitted. I am not a member in two companies. I am not a nominee in two companies. I am a member in one OPC and I am a nominee in OPC, one OPC. This is purely permitted. But what if this person died? If this person died, see, A becomes a member. A becomes a member. So in that case, he is acting as a member of two OPCs. In that case, he is acting as a member of two OPCs. Originally, he incorporated one company, another company, he became a member because of his nomination. OPC 2, Mr. A became a member due to his nomination. So what shall I do? So here I became a member, A also here. So now A is acting as a member in two OPCs. Is it permitted? Yes, but for a maximum of 180 days. Within 180 days, you have to select in which company you want to continue. Is it OPC 1 or is it OPC 2? You have to choose within 180 days in which company you want to continue. That is what this point. Okay. Right. So a person cannot become a member of more than one OPC. No person shall be eligible to incorporate more than one OPC. If a person is a member, if a person who is a member in one OPC becomes a member of another OPC due to his nomination in another OPC, shall choose any one OPC within 180 days. Okay, right. Next, nominee. So who is nominee? Since one person OPC has only one member, to ensure that the company has a perpetual succession. If a private company has two members, even if one person is died, till the time other legal heirs handle the company, another member will be there. At least one member will be there to continue. Okay, but in case of OPC, there is only one member. Remember, if a private company has two members, one person died, and the legal heirs of that person will purchase the shares. But till the during that intervening time, at least another member will be there in the company to take care. But in case of OPC, there will be only one person. If that person died, who will take care? Who will take care? That is the reason we have to appoint a nominee to ensure perpetual existence or perpetual succession. So nominee becomes a member in the event of death or incapacity of the present member. Nominee becomes a member in the event of death or incapacity of the present member. Okay, no person shall become a nominee of more than one OPC. Like a membership also only one. So here also, whether a B can become a nominee in two companies, the answer is no. Sir, here B is a nominee, sir. Can B act as a nominee here? The answer is no. Okay, or he can become a nominee in only one OPC. A person can become a nominee in only one OPC. He cannot become a nominee in two OPCs. Okay, right. Next, director. OPC must have minimum one director and maximum 15 directors. So this is where the students will confuse. Sir, one person company means only one person. Yes, only one person. In what capacity? In the member capacity, only one person. But in the director capacity, there may be 15 persons. Okay, one person company will have only one. Who is that one? Member one. Not the director. Director can be up to 15 also, like all of the, like other private companies and public companies. One person company, who is that one? That one is a member, not a director. One person company can have more than one director also. So one person company can have minimum one director and maximum 15 directors. Okay. The same person who is a shareholder can also become the director. That means Mr. A is a member of OPC and Mr. A is a sole director of the OPC. Is it permitted? The answer is yes. I am a member of OPC and myself is a director of OPC. No other person. Is it permitted? Answer is yes. Sole shareholder can also become a sole director of the OPC. Next, what are the activities that are prevented or prohibited for OPC? Non-banking financial activities. They cannot do this non-banking financial investment activities, and they cannot invest in the securities of other corporate. One person company cannot purchase the shares of another company. One person company cannot purchase the shares of some other company. Okay, cannot invest in the securities or other body corporate. This is a prohibited activities. And exemptions: one person company need not conduct AGM. One financial statements need not include cash flow statement. Financial statements and board report can be signed by only one director. Okay, right. This is the point. Financial statements and board report can be signed only by one director. These are some of the examples. Okay, there are many more examples, but for the sake what is covered in the board material, I have discussed only these three. Need not conduct AGM, financial statement need not include cash flow statement. Even one director can sign the financial statements of OPC. OPC can be converted into other private company. OPC can be converted into other private company. OPC may be converted into public company. OPC cannot be converted to Section 8 company. This is what the people will not people will confuse here. OPC cannot be incorporated as a public company. OPC must be incorporated as a private company. After that, it can be converted into a public company by increasing the number of members. OPC cannot be incorporated as a public company. OPC must be incorporated as a private company. After incorporation, it can be converted into a public company by increasing the number of members. And OPC cannot be converted into a Section 8 company. OPC cannot be converted into a Section 8 company. Next, nominee of OPC, member of OPC shall appoint a nominee, and that nominee becomes a member in the event of death or incapacity of the main member. That nominee may be must be natural person and Indian citizen, may be resident or not. Nominee must be natural person and Indian citizen, may be resident or not. Can become a nominee of OPC. Minor cannot become a nominee of OPC. See here, this is the same criteria as the member criteria. Because in the event of the death or incapacity of the member, it is the nominee who occupies the position of a member. Therefore, obviously, he should be ready with the criteria which is required for the member. So in the event of death of a member, it is the nominee who occupies the position of a member. Therefore, at all times he should be ready to take over the membership. Therefore, he should be satisfying the criteria as if he is a member. Always he should be satisfying the criteria as if he is a member, because we don't know at any point of time he may be asked or he may be compelled to take the position as a member. Okay, right. So nominee shall give his consent, and that consent shall be, nominee name is mentioned in the MOA, and that consent will be filed with the ROC. Nominee may withdraw his consent, and member also may change the nominee. Nominee may withdraw his consent, and a member also, if the member also can appoint a new nominee. In both the cases, it is not treated as an alteration of MOA. Whether nominee himself is withdrawing or member changing the nominee, whatever may be the reason, whenever a new nominee comes, whether due to withdrawal of consent by old nominee or change in the nominee by the member, whatever may be the reason, if the new nominee comes, it is not treated as an alteration of MOA. It is not treated as an alteration of MOA. This is also important, true or false question. Change in nominee will not be treated as alteration of MOA. Change in nominee will not be treated as alteration of MOA. Important, true or false question. And penalty, if OPC or any of its officers contravenes any provisions of these rules, they shall be punishable with fine up to 5,000 flat fine and rupees 500 per day, during which such default continues. If the default is a continuing default, 500 rupees per day from the second day onwards, not from the first day. For the first day, 5,000. For the first day, 5,000. From second day onwards, 500. First day, 5,000. From second day, 500 per day. From second day, 500 rupees per day. From second day, 500 rupees per day. Okay. This is the penalty. Right. So this is briefly about the OPC. OPC is a wider concept. OPC consists of rule 3, rule 4 deals with the OPC, rule 5 and rule 6 also conversions. But what is covered in the syllabus, I'm discussing only this much. Okay, so anybody who is interested in the OPC, they can read rule 5, rule 6, rule 4, rule 7 also. But to the extent covered in the board material, I'm discussing only these parts. Okay, thank you.